it can also become an addiction. It looks like a desire. You know, it's a desire in somebody to win. They believe that I didn't get it today, definitely I'll get it tomorrow. And they will continue like that until they get it. And of course, many times they don't.
The road to hell, it is said, is paved with good intentions. The descent down the slippery slope from baada ya kazi to badala ya kazi in as far as alcohol use in Kenya went unnoticed for years. It left Kenyan youth scraping the barrel of alcoholism, and it took a presidential bailing of the cat for the country to attempt to unshackle itself from the yoke of alcohol abuse. But even before Kenyan youth can sober up, they may be texting and surfing online into another addiction. Casinos and betting on horses, or charity sweepstake and the street card players. Since independence, that has been the extent of betting in Kenya. In the last 3 years, sports betting has taken the country by storm.
Business is good. Kenyans are very appreciative of this.
It's been a fantastic 2 years, and we hope we'll grow even more in the future.
Sports betting has been growing and is becoming a very important part of Kenya's sporting fraternity.
Sports betting is an activity of predicting sports results and placing a bet on the outcome. Betting has been done since the time of the Greek city-states more than 2,000 years ago, with events like the Olympics offering a chance at betting. According to the Betting Control and Licensing Board, BCLB, there are close to 30 licensed operators holding bookmaker/sports betting licenses. The major players in the mobile gaming industry currently are SportPesa, Betaway, Betting Kenya, Bet2 and M-Cheza. These gaming companies are majorly SMS or online based. According to the Communication Authority of Kenya, Q1 sector statistics report for the financial year 2015-2016, mobile penetration stands at 88.1%, which means 37.8 million registered mobile phone users in the country. So how many Kenyans currently are betting on sports?
We rely on the returns which are filed by the operators, and therefore it is very difficult to say with certainty how many.
It's too early to call because it's a daily growth.
I can't tell you the exact numbers, but what I can assure you...
By the end of 2015, what numbers were you looking at? Or even just conservative estimate of what's your subscriber base?
We have registered over 1 million customers.
According to industry insiders, the figure is closer to 2 million. Using SportPesa, which holds the biggest share of the gaming market in Kenya, as an example, a jackpot bet is 100 shillings. If every subscriber plays the jackpot on a given Saturday, that translates to 200 million shillings per week, which translates to 800 million shillings per month. Remember that one can bet on the jackpot as many times as possible, so the 800 million shillings per month gross proceeds on jackpot bets only is a thoroughly conservative estimate. In its 2 years of existence, SportPesa has had 6 jackpot winners.
It is not just picking up your phone and just putting things there. No, it is not that. Take time. If you see my books, when I'm analyzing this, I analyze a game for 3 hours. It's not guesswork, people. It's a bit of commitment and luck. Okay? Usifikirie utachukua simu ati uguess hapo ushinde, ni ngumu majamaa.
Nilibet mara ya kwanza ikanitupa. I just got only 3 out of 13. Then mara ya pili nikapata 6. Mara ya tatu nikapata 7 out of 13. Mara ya 4 nikapata 9 out of 13. Na mara ya mwisho nikapata 13 out of 13.
Aside from the jackpot, one can bet on single games or multiple games at 100 bob a bet. These scenes of winning fuel the hope of Kenyans as the gaming companies laugh all the way to the bank.
naingia internet pale ndani ya SportPesa. Hapo ndio nimepata kazi siku hizi. Na kazi yenye mimi nafanya hapo sana sana ni ya betting.
I can say it's my side hustle because at times Sailo Mesota, you go there with maybe 100 shillings that it can multiply to some huge amount of money.
It's a trending thing right now in the country. It benefits the youth, but to some extent, I think we are developing a generation of youth who have become dormant. It seems that right now, the best thing they can do with themselves is find a place that there is internet and gamble. And in the long run, they lose. So I'm not pro gambling. I've tried it before and I've lost enough.
Betting in Kenya is regulated by the Betting Lotteries and Gaming Act, Cap 131. According to this Act of 1966, the Betting Control and Licensing Board is mandated to regulate gambling in the country. 50 years later, the Act and BCLB are obviously due a facelift.
What has happened is that, of course, we have had tremendous technological advancements. We are using now smartphones, we are using tablets, and the industry has grown way ahead, in fact, of the regulator in terms of enforcement.
The BCLB need to come up with new regulations to ensure that the area is streamlined. That has been a challenge for us, but hopefully through the Association of Gaming Operators, there's a way that a new regulation can be made to ensure that everybody falls into a specific space.
What we only ask for is a level playing field and a fair playing field.
There is consensus that there is need for a new law to cater for the changing times. BCLB is currently collating stakeholder views and drafting a gaming bill to be presented to Parliament.
The regulation of a demerit good or demerit service, for that matter, is very complicated. Rather than leave it unregulated, and that is the danger, you leave it unregulated because you feel you can't regulate, you don't have the capacity. The best thing would be to build capacity and regulate it so that at least you can have the control of the situation and then see what are the negative social effects and what is the economic gain.
But it is not all black and white in as far as the law is concerned. Section 12 of the Sports Act 2013 envisions the establishment of a national sports fund which shall be run by a board of trustees. The chair of the fund, Sam Cairo, was appointed by the president in December 2013 with 6 trustees, including two-time Olympic silver medalist Catherine Dereva, appointed in September 2014. The 8 other trustees are drawn from various government ministries. The Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Arts and Culture, Dr. Hassan Wario, has for the last 2 years talked about the establishment of the Sports Lotto, but nothing has come of the talk. And he admitted as much in his State of Sports speech in December 2015.
And then there's the Sports Fund, which has been a slow starter, but has a big potential in terms of funding and supporting sports and the sports infrastructure in this country.
The government's slow adherence to establishing a national sports fund and the National Sports Lottery has led to challenges in funding national sporting teams. The depth of embarrassment was the almost botched trip to Cape Verde by Harambee Stars. The men's volleyball team will not compete in Rio due to lack of funds for the Olympic qualifiers, while the national sevens rugby team is barely making ends meet as shirt sponsor Kenya Airways struggles with a cash crunch.
Sports is growing in Kenya. There are different sectors of sports. And this also puts a lot of demand on the government. We are the primary #1 sponsors of sporting events in Kenya. So we need a lot of support, and we hope Mcheza and others will come in strongly to support our Olympics team to go and lift Kenya.
The Super 8 soccer tournament has grown in.
On the flip side, the gaming companies are stepping in to fill the gap. From sponsoring grassroots football in Super 8 to the tune of 35 million, to sponsoring the Kenyan Premier League to the tune of 80 million per year for the next 4 years, and the National Boxing League to the tune of 20 million shillings, as well as other planned sporting sponsorships.
In January 2016, we are launching an extensive strategy to scout for, sponsor and mentor young promising Kenyans in football. So if you've heard of that, and please get the message across, young football talents, we will be looking for you.
Currently, it is up to the gaming operators to decide who or what will benefit from the generosity. However, BCLB wishes to change this.
Our proposal is that any person or any operator who engages in any form of gaming activity ought to be charged a percentage. These percentages could be differentiated depending on the kind of license you have. And that will now go to good cause money. The second proposal is that we should not leave the operators to decide who they should give the good cause money to. This money should be put in a kitty, and this, we are proposing that we have a national distribution trust fund. And this trust fund should have trustees, and all this good cause money should be paid into that trust fund, and it's of the trust fund which should decide which of the many activities in sports, culture and arts they would like to sponsor.
Sports betting is big business worldwide, and Kenya is no exception. According to BCLB, it is estimated that the annual gross turnover in this segment is 2 billion shillings, with gross revenue expected to grow to over 5 billion in the next 3 years.
And I can assure you, you are going to do very well. In the next 1 or 2 years, you come and tell me, yes, you said it, we are making money.
Given these figures and the obvious increase in Kenyans betting on sports, one would expect Kenya Revenue Authority to be swimming in money. But is it?
Despite the fact that the industry is booming, I don't think KRA is making a lot of money. And I think the problem is the tax model, which I think KRA is using. So we had recommended that the government should charge a gaming tax, and that should go to the operator. But what came out, of course, after the finance bill was passed 2012, is that the government introduced the withholding tax on winnings. And that is where the problem started.
The other thing is about taxation. It's not the easiest thing to try and not only govern but also implement. So what we try and do is whatever they say that needs to be paid as tax, M-Cheza is simply saying, just show us where to pay.
Seemingly so much good in sports betting. What could possibly be wrong? Well, in countries where sports betting has taken root, they've had to deal with increased cases of gambling addiction, match fixing, and a rise in organized crime.
As far as I know, gambling is an addictive thing, and people have lost their entire family wealth through gambling.
So it's recreational. It's not that now I'll wake up and this is my life. And that's why we need to be careful, because anything that is abused becomes a bad thing.
I'm telling you, the danger is how cautious can we be? Do it with caution. If somebody can have the kind of a control where they say, if I am going to do this and I lose, nakuambia sitajaribu mara ya pili. If somebody can say that, if somebody can do that, it can be okay. But is that possible?
We allow people to call us, to send us an email and say, guys, I have a serious problem. I have nowhere to go. And we will send you to professionals who look after addiction, because that's not what we do. And it's not normal for a company to push these kinds of things, because you'd think we'd push you to bet as much as possible. But as I keep saying, I need a customer for tomorrow, not just for today.
So when it comes to match fixing, you also have to look at it this way. As a betting company, we are the ones who have everything to lose if matches are fixed. So match fixing, for me right now, I don't think it will be a problem, because I believe if anybody was going to fix the matches, they would have done it already. In fact, in the league, the officials, none of them are allowed to bet. Remember, we have all the phone number records, so we have their numbers. So first of all, they're not allowed to bet.
Youth unemployment in Kenya is pretty high. Thus, the allure of easy money is bait that is unsurprisingly being swallowed whole. But to what effect?
Somebody starts to gamble because of the money, because I believe it starts because of the money. Then this repeated failure and a surge forward to still want to do the same, it now becomes a pathological issue. It now becomes more than the money. It becomes a disorder.
Kenyans love their sports, and football is arguably Kenya's most loved sport. And surprisingly, this love for football is what sports betting companies are betting on.
we are offering 277 leagues available for you to bet.
So going forward, sports betting, I think, will be the thing to watch.
Okay, so let's take it again. Let's start from the beginning. I think DJ Joe, you should give us some intense background music. We're all about to make money. Ooh. It's activated!
As sports betting grows by leaps and bounds, and hopefully one day the government actualizes its dream of a sports lottery, a lot of thought has to be given to the danger of turning Kenya into a gambling nation, the need for a coherent law, a tax model that works, and channels to ensure that the money that is generated from sports betting is put to the use of Kenyan sports. Warothe Kiru, NTV.